The minority media game Papo Y Yo is an indie developed game that has a very split opinion. Some are saying, well, the graphics are pretty bad, the fog level's kind of subpar, it's not the best graphically speaking. But others are saying that this game, which centers on a boy who, with the help of his toy robot, is able to transform his slums and try to placate a ravenous yet good-natured robot, is a great game based on its ability to affect you emotionally. Now this is coming out to PC after being a PlayStation exclusive for several months, and this is why we're talking about it.
So I did a little research in this game. I went to check it out on Steam. I saw the trailers that they have out, and they are, I think there's no graphical problems with this game at all. Obviously, when you put it up against the highest quality of AAA title, yeah, it falls short. But this is an indie game that looks beautiful. All the cutscenes seem to be like a full motion video. So you actually see a little boy and his father, and in this environment, and then he steps through an animated portal and becomes animated himself in this gorgeously rendered South American, is it? Favela.
I believe Colombian.
Colombian. That's in South America, right?
Yeah.
Central America, something like that. I'm the most ignorant person you'll ever see on this show. Anyway, so the environments are beautiful and weird and twisted and kind of all over the place, very dreamscape, a little bit Inception too.
Yeah.
If you check it out, like the buildings kind of like wrap up, and it's like MC Escher kind of walking on walls.
So it's visually, in
it's
your
very
opinion,
interesting
great.
to look at. Yeah.
Mystifying.
Yeah.
Well, this is more on the high end of indie developed games. It was subsidized by Sony during development. But this brings up an important question, which is, some people are saying the game is very emotional and touching and strong and powerful, but it is dimmed by not being as graphically superior. And what I want to know is, does that matter? I mean, what is more important here? The ability of the game as a storytelling device, or the technological aspects?
I think the problem comes is when you judge this as a video game based on all the qualifications of the way you judge conventional video games. Gameplay mechanics, controls, graphics, sound, story, plot, that kind of stuff. And for this, it's very much a story told, as it seems. I haven't played the game, but it seems to very concentrate on story and evoking emotion, and maybe they don't have the tightest controls or the best gameplay elements. Maybe it's a little bit shorter than your conventional game. Maybe it's not all that difficult. Maybe it's not challenging, that kind of thing. But it's telling a story with the medium of a video game.
Well, it has a very high emotional level of risk for you when you enter it, which you don't see in a lot of other games.
Yeah, dealing with an alcoholic father and escaping into a dream world sounds like an indie movie, not an indie game.
So what I want to know is, there are AAA games that do have good messages and good points, and very strong stories, but they also satisfy our more primal urges, like killing and seeing blood burst everywhere. Not that I'm saying it's bad, but it's decidedly different than going on an adventure to placate a monster who is an allegory for your alcoholic father.
Well, for the most part, AAA titles are all about making money for the developers, for the publishers, that kind of thing. So you have to include the staples that are tried and true and tested and that people will buy.
That's true. We talked about that before when we were talking about making a
female protagonist.
Not even a female, not just a female protagonist, a female minority protagonist.
Oh, right.
And that is untreaded ground almost, because they know the safe formula is to have, kind of a relatable white male protagonist.
Typically dark hair,
maybe
smarmy.
He's kind of like quirky and clever, but he's also a big ass kicker, and that tends to be the way publishers go, because that is the way that's always worked. But why don't we try something new? I mean, we were talking about the protagonist, Neelan. I believe that's the way her name is pronounced.
Right.
And she's not necessarily
she doesn't fit
in
any
that
of the
mold.
gaming conventions.
No, not at all. But that doesn't mean that it probably won't make as much money.
Well, this game has not yet earned back its development cost on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
That's why it's getting this PC release.
Right. So do you think that will happen?
Certainly, I think if it keeps getting buzz like this, people will investigate it, people will check it out. You know, at less than $15.
And you get a beautiful, mature game that makes you question things in yourself and have feelings that maybe you didn't even realize you could relate to.
I don't think this game appeals to people who have alcoholic fathers. I think it appeals to people who love good storytelling and want to see people take risks with their games to kind of open up doors to new types of games like this.
That's really exciting to me. That's what I hope we see more of.